Hello, my name is Jocelyn, and the topic that I am going to be presenting to you is evolving to sustainable plant and algae biofuels. So, humankind's main source of energy is derived from fossil fuels, which when burned release huge amounts of greenhouse gases. Now you may ask, why is this issue so important? This matter is urgent and should be important to every single human on our planet, because if we do not transition to cleaner energy, then global warming and climate change will take its toll on our planet. The sad truth is that just like my generation, generations to come will be stuck with the consequences that will stem from complications caused by global warming. Human activity, beginning during the Industrial Revolution, is what set in motion these toxic industrial practices. In the article Global Warming and Climate Change, the authors from Gale spoke about how, over the past 150 years, the concentration of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere has risen by more than 30%. We need to change the path that we are on before global warming and climate change consume our planet as we know it. We need to implement more sustainable energy sources for generations to come. The best solution is to evolve to alternative plant and algae biofuels that are not only sustainable but beneficial to Earth and its inhabitants. Plant and algae biofuels are the renewable energy source that will provide us with the opportunity to lower greenhouse gas emissions. Humans have caused this emerging issue, and it is more apparent than ever the global urgency to transition to more viable energy sources. Alright, so let's start with the main problems. So the main issue is that Earth cannot thrive under the conditions that humans are inflicting on the planet. Humans are the main contributor to the massive amounts of greenhouse gases being emitted into our atmosphere. These gases are released by humans burning fossil fuels such as coal and oil, which release carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. About 7 billion metric tons of carbon dioxide is released into our planet's atmosphere due to human operations. Due to the fact that these greenhouse gases are being emitted in such large quantities, they are not allowing heat to escape properly and instead trapping in heat from the sun. This phenomenon is called the greenhouse effect and is what causes global warming. In turn, as the planet starts to get warmer, it causes further changes in our climate. Over the course of my research, I discovered a chilling reality. Countless studies and articles painted a picture of a sort of pre-apocalyptic world that humans themselves created, and describes the future of our planet ravaged by climate change and global warming. They predicted a future of famine and water shortages. Conditions that are too dry or too sodden would cause farmland to rapidly decay. Animals that cannot adapt to our climate's rising temperatures become extinct. The biodiversity of organisms on this planet would experience a detrimental loss. Our glacier ice caps that have been around for centuries will melt and cause sea levels to rise. Another issue is that certain biofuels emit higher amounts of greenhouse gases than other better alternatives. Corn ethanol has been one of the most disputed biofuels in the industry. Corn ethanol is a crop-based biofuel that requires a tedious process to derive ethanol from corn crops. Statistics have shown that corn ethanol production has equal amounts of input and output energy, which is partly due to the fact that cornfields need to be plowed and harvested annually, which makes them unsustainable. So this image just shows the toll that climate change is already having on us in today's society. This is a huge chunk of a melting glacier coming off in the Arctic. And this picture just shows the United States and how winter temperatures have changed in the past decades. So there are many solutions to solve this problem, and the main one is to evolve to renewable energy such as algae and plant biofuels. Algae has a high potential yield. It's able to grow on land not suited for agriculture. It has the ability to grow in brackish or wastewater. It absorbs carbon dioxide during growth and is relatively easy to convert into fuels and products that are fully compatible with today's vehicles, airplanes, and delivery systems. Plant biofuels have been praised for their contribution towards a greener future as well. For example, the plant Jatropha curicus L has been processed and used as a biodiesel. Mainly, biodiesels are sustainable and recyclable sources of energy. The byproduct is glycerol and has been utilized in the pharmaceutical industry and additionally has many other applications. The advantage of using this plant compared to other biofuel crops is that it is non-edible. Therefore, it does not create a conflict of utilizing food for fuel. Also, it is a perennial crop, which means that it does not require frequent removal and soil tillage, so that it can continue producing seeds and only needs to be replanted every 25 years. So another thing that we need to do is we need to stop deforestation. Alternating to these biofuels will eliminate the need for crop-based biofuels and fossil fuel plants that take up too much potential forest space. We need more oxygen for us to breathe, and we need forests to take carbon dioxide out of our atmosphere as well as to store it. Globally, we need to come together to enforce energy companies to lower their greenhouse gas emissions significantly. There needs to be a call for change and laws need to be made for people to abide. Governments around the world would need to enforce companies to adopt cleaner, renewable energy. And of course, there should be a grace period set in place for these big companies to give these corporations time to transition to sustainable, renewable energy such as plant and algae biofuels. So this is just a simple diagram that I found interesting. It just shows how algae is converted to bioethanol and biodiesel. It's pretty simple. Thought it was interesting. So one counter argument that might be argued is that algae and plant biofuels will cause an even bigger issue. Where are they going to obtain their water source than when water is already scarce? So to that, I would say that they are incorrect because the current crop-based biofuels, for example, use more water than algae biofuels. Specifically, microalgae uses less water than traditional crops. It grows rapidly, eliminates the use of herbicides and pesticides, absorbs carbon, and has beneficial co-products. Additionally, unlike current crop-based biofuels, algae can grow under any weather condition, which reduces the amount of water it needs to survive, and has the ability to grow in brackish or wastewater. Others would say, aren't crop-based biofuels just as sustainable as plant and algae biofuels? So certain crop-based biofuels, such as corn ethanol, are essentially unsustainable. And what I mean by that is that they have equal amounts of input and output energy. This is partially due to the fact that cornfields need to be plowed and harvested annually. Land usage to plant these biofuels have been found to be also an indirect factor to greenhouse gas emissions. Unlike many crop-based biofuels, plant and algae biofuels are more beneficial overall and can even capture carbon. It is completely possible to change society's negative impact on our environment, but we have to implement these changes soon. The threats that global warming and climate change bring are slowly looming over our planet. Our mission now is to evolve into a society that uses renewable energy sources and cuts down greenhouse gas emissions. Our current model of fossil fuels and crop-based biofuels are detrimental to our environment and release huge amounts of these gases into our atmosphere. All of these reasons are why it is so urgent to transition to sustainable algae and plant biofuels. These biofuels have proven to be the renewable energy of the future, and it is time that we all look towards our future. Thank you for your time, and have a good day.